Richard Boyd Barrett, 2 minutes.
It is an absolute disgrace that we discover on RTE and in newspapers over the weekend that a key part of Ireland's cultural and cinematic heritage has been sold, that the state has sold its share in a deal where none of the details have been scrutinised or where we have no idea about guarantees to protect the future of Ardmore as a film studio. Incredibly, $7 million has been written off in debts. The company has been sold, that's what was reported the weekend, in debts, sold to All Enterprises, a company that was only set up 29 days ago, is headed up by Joe Devine, who is also involved in Troy Studios, where the current CEO is also linked to Troy Studios, and is going to continue now as CEO, where I understand Ozzy Kilkenny, who's also involved in Troy Studios, is also involved in all this, where we get these producers and the film board telling us that we have a booming film industry, that there's not enough studio space, and yet film workers tell me that for the last 3 years Ardmore has been completely underutilised, and as we speak only one stage is being used out of 5. But where is all the money, the 60 or 70 million that's given in Section 481 funding to production companies going? It's not going into making films at Ardmore, it's going into places like the John Player factory, asbestos riddled on the South Circular Road, where a film is being made at the moment, and as we speak, film workers are being forced into a sit-in protest because of the conditions they're being forced to work in, or where Badlands, which is supposed to be being produced in Ardmore, is being produced in the Dublin Sports Hotel, which is a NAMA-owned building, again with a protest going on as we speak. Why is that filming not being done in Ardmore? And the same people who've run down Ardmore are going to now stay in control of it, and incredibly the state has sold its stake. It's a ready-up. It's a disgraceful ready-up.
Thank you, Deputy. Antara, Heather Humphreys.
I just want to thank the deputies for the opportunity to outline the position regarding the recent agreement to sell Ardmore Studios. Ardmore Studios Limited is being sold to Alcott Entertainment. The sale was announced to staff last Friday morning, the 23rd of March, and later that day to the public. Over the past 60 years, Ardmore Studios has produced hundreds of international and national films and TV productions, and the studios continue to represent a vitally important part of the Irish film industry. Ardmore is the only studio in Ireland to offer 7 international standard sound stages with full support facilities on site. As the deputies will be aware, Ardmore Studios was owned approximately 2/3 by Ardmore Studios International Limited, ASIL. These shareholders were seeking to exit, having been running the company for over 30 years. The other 1/3 shareholding was held by Enterprise Ireland and resulted from an investment in 1986 by a predecessor agency called the National Development Corporation. Over the past 30 years or so, Enterprise Ireland's investment has been a passive one. Enterprise Ireland has no role in the international promotion of Ireland as a location for film production. In 2018, Ardmore Studios International Limited engaged IBI Corporate Finance to investigate selling the company as a going concern. An extensive process was undertaken by IBI Corporate Finance to find a buyer, with over 100 potential parties contacted. Alcott Entertainment emerged as the only second-round bidder. Alcott Entertainment Limited is a new holding company set up by Joe Devine and Daniel O'Donoghue to acquire Ardmore. The lead investor, Joe Devine, is currently chairman and a major shareholder in the Troy Film Studios in Limerick. Troy was successfully set up and developed the studio from a standing start to the point where it currently hosts a production company with approximately 500 people working on a major production. And indeed, I have visited Troy Studios myself. and they're currently filming a major new series there, Night Flyers. It's an adaptation of a book by George R.R. Martin, whom I'm sure you know was the author of Game of Thrones. It has huge potential, and that's the sort of thing that I and Minister Madigan, and indeed all of us public representatives, want to see replicated in other parts of the country. Enterprise Ireland negotiated the sale of its shareholding with the benefit of due diligence undertaken by independent consultants, and are satisfied that they realised full market value on a par with the other parties. In examining the proposition, Enterprise Ireland took the view that continued investment is required in the studio's facility to secure its long-term commercial future, and the Alcott Entertainment deal provides the potential to breathe new life into the company at a time when the market for film production in Ireland is again showing strong growth potential. I visited Ardmore in my previous capacity as Minister for Culture, Heritage and the Gaeltacht, and of course I want to see those facilities utilised to their full potential. In that regard, Alcott plans to develop and expand the Ardmore studio offering and other related entertainment projects. Alcott also plans to retain the current experienced Ardmore management and staff. And it's important to point out too that the site cannot be used for non-film industry development without the agreement of Wicklow County Council to alter the current zoning restriction. So it will be up to the elected members of Wicklow County Council if they want to change that zoning. The Ardmore site is currently zoned for film use only, and this protection is due to run for at least 5 more years under the Bray Municipal District Local Area Plan. And I honestly think that the elected members in Wicklow will see the benefits of having this zoned for film production. Taking all these factors into account, therefore, the Government believes that the sale of Alcott provides the best prospects for the commercial development of Ardmore, for the employment of the many skilled workers that have been employed in Ardmore productions over the years, and for the attractiveness of Ireland as a location for international film production. Thank you.
Minister, I repeat, it is absolutely disgraceful that we have sold off the state holding in Ardmore. We've privatised, fully privatised it, to the benefit of a company that just appeared like a mushroom, and this is a feature of the film industry. The companies that get all the state money appear like mushrooms and then disappear just as quickly, where we've had testimony to the Arts Committee from representatives of the film, of the workers in the film industry, that they have no proper training and accreditation structure for trainees, they have no pensions, they have no continuity of employment, yet millions is going into the film industry, and incredibly, in Ardmore itself, and we're going to have the same CEO running it, linked to Troy Studios, who run it down, there are 4 stages sitting empty while public money is being used to finance the production of films in NAMA buildings which are completely unsuitable. In the case of the John Player building, a place riddled with asbestos, where the toilets are absolutely revolting, where the place is freezing. Why is there not more public oversight of that, right? Rather than you actually relinquishing the little bit of influence we had over the industry in terms of Ardmore, there should be more oversight of all this stuff, but instead you've sold it without questions being asked about what is going on and whether or not Ardmore was being run down to the benefit of Troy, and indeed in a situation where some of the land was put up for possible residential development. It's really not acceptable, Minister.
Thank you. I first of all want to again reiterate that the Government believes that the sale of Ardmore to Alcott represents the best prospects for the development of Ardmore, the best prospects for quality employment in film production in the area, and will add to the attractiveness of facilities for film production in Ireland. And I do think that you have a cluster there in Wicklow, and I think that further investment in the Ardmore studios will certainly attract many more films into that particular film production area, and I think this will be, I genuinely know and believe that this will be in the best interest of the film industry in County Wicklow, because I've been to Ardmore. It did need investment, there's no doubt about that, but these people are specialised in the area of film production. This is their business. Go down and see what they've done in Try. I expect, and I know they're going to invest in the one in Wicklow, and I can assure you, you'll be well pleased with the results. Try really is an absolutely wonderful facility now, and it was an old factory and has turned into a wonderful production centre for film, and has also created 500 jobs. The local, in fact, I visit them, and they're working with the local institute and the local ETB in training people and upskilling them to meet the demands, the increased demand, and this has only happened in the last short number of years. So I have no doubt that what's going to happen in Ardmore will certainly be hugely beneficial to the area. And can I just say that the government is fully committed to the development of the Irish film industry. Both my colleague, Minister for Culture, Heritage and the Gaeltacht, Josepha Madigan, and I welcome the proposed investment in Ardmore Studios. And it's important to note that the move has also been welcomed by the Irish Film Board. The state will continue to support the film sector through the Irish Film Board tax incentives such as Section 481 and other measures. And can I just say that Enterprise Ireland negotiated the sale of its shareholding with the benefit of due diligence undertaken by independent consultants, and are satisfied that they realised full market value on a par with other parties. And as the sale is a commercial transaction relating to a private company, the terms cannot be revealed for reasons of business confidentiality. Enterprise Ireland does not involve itself in the day-to-day running of the business affairs of the companies that it invests in. So I would say that this is very much a positive move for Ardmore, and I'd like to just reassure the deputies of that.
Thank you.